Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here. We're off for more of Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, and in the last episode, we spent most of our time doing a GBA exclusive side quest that, well, you won't be able to see it because we're in a dungeon right now, but we had a basket that replaced the question mark that allowed us to visit Q Bumpkin at the woodcutter's house where the lumberjacks live in order to do a riddle quest that gave us the hurricane spin. And for both versions, what we did was that, well, we headed to the Village of Outcasts where we have discovered the Thieves Town. We've also upgraded all of our items to the maximum carriage capability, and that's a rabbit trap. Let me do this quick. If that touched you, starting off on a motor mouth at the moment, if that touched you, you would become a bunny for a moment because it will disable the moon pearl for 5 seconds. If you get hit, it would cancel out, but if you can sprinkle magic powder on it before it starts moving, then you will be able to get a fairy out of it. If it's moving, you're not going to be able to sprinkle it. It will ignore your magic powder, and it will just, get you. So yeah, Thieves Hideout. I don't see thieves, but I see what I thought was Dinophos. I had to look this up. They only appear in a link between worlds and a link to the past. These things are Zazaz. They just wander around, deal massive contact damage, and the red ones can shoot fire. The red ones also take a little bit more abuse, but a single spin attack with the Master Sword can knock them out, so that is fandabby-dozy. I want to head around this way, because, yep, that's the chest I'm after. Let's run right through you, Zantetsuken! I think that's how you pronounce it. I said that in my Kingdom Hearts. Well, that didn't work out, but I didn't get hit either, so it's fine. All worked out in the end, but not the way that I wanted. That was only 20 rupees. That's actually something I didn't mention in the last episode. If you need to find 20 rupees for one of the riddles, you won't be able to get them out of a chest. That's what I mean by that the magic powder won't work on them if they're moving. We can't do anything for a few seconds. It'll wear off just momentarily, or if we get hits, that's fine. So that is good if we want to get some extra health, as long as we leave the sector, which, by the way, since we've got the map, it's a 2x2 big old room, and the room's only split off because of the sectors that the map functions in. That's a thing, because we only have that much to explore, because we actually go into this room for the moment and dash right across the room. Big key to the north. Can't get through it. Not today. So we are stuck at the beginning of the dungeon until we find the big key, so we're going to get it pretty early. But if you notice, there were some cracked walls that we can bash our way through, so let's go do that. Meh. Oh well, I'll take that just because. Won't actually do anything for me, but you know. That's kind of cool, so we'll go grab that. That's 5 rupees. Since this is Thieves Hideout, you would expect to get a lot of money. But it's the Village of Outcasts, so who knows what they're hiding in here. We also know that they're hiding a girl. They're hiding a maiden, and we're going to go loot the place, because we're just like that. That didn't work out well. We can't really get through here, but we can take these enemies out, well, I would say earlier, but since we're on the edge of the sector, they're going to respawn as soon as we leave, so kind of no point in doing that. So yeah, that didn't actually, I keep forgetting that there's one underneath this bridge that you can't see. Yeah, they'll do that just to sneak you out. Oh, I was trying to avoid it. Couldn't do it. Not today. I don't know why I'm making that reference out with the road to El Dorado, but there we are. It's a good film. One of DreamWorks' best 2D animated projects, I will say. Anyway, enough about that. Let's hop down here. Dodge that Dinophos that I thought was called. If I keep flip-flopping between Dinophos and Zazaz, I mean, I don't call them Zazaz because they only appear in A Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds. Again, a Dark World exclusive enemy, or local exclusive enemy, I guess you could call it. And, to be honest, I don't remember most enemy names anyway from A Link to the Past because the manual doesn't actually tell you a lot, especially the Dark World portions, because it only tells you stuff about the Light World, because the only thing that Dark World is mentioned is in, you know, text, and even then it's mostly referred to as the Golden Land or the Sacred Realm. One of the two. Because it pretty much is, it's just corrupted by evil. Ganondorf for Aghanim's magic. And Dinophos and Lizalfos don't actually show up until Ocarina of Time in creation order, so, you know, I would have just assumed these to be Dinophos. There's the useless compass. I mean, I guess it could at least tell us where the boss is. That's fine. Do not go through that door, because if we go through here, you'll notice that the door will actually lock. We want to go down here, because the entrance is right at the corner here. This is one of the first chests you probably spot. That's how you get it. It's the big key needed to progress. So now that we have the compass, let's bump open the map and see what we got going on here. So, the locked door that requires the big key will actually take us straight to the boss already. Well, that's convenient. It's not that big of a trip. This thing is tailing me. Could you not? I will not be a bunny today. Run, rabbit, run, run, run. Don't let the farmer have his fun, fun, fun. He'll get by where there is rabbit pie. Right, let's take care of these skelebobs, because they're going to get in the way. Not that many, but the red one could catch you off guard, but we've taken him out. And the door's not locked to the boss room. In fact, it hasn't even got, like, a carpet. Well, unless you want to call this massive pathway a carpet. I mean, I guess that makes sense for a thief. This is the hallway. You would go through to the other rooms, and this would be the big honcho's room. Face me, fool! I'll take you on early if I can. This is the boss room. Boss music's not playing. Door's not shut. No boss? We need to take out the boss in order to get the maiden. That's a problem. Maybe we gotta bring him in? Maybe we gotta knock him off the floor? We didn't bash the wall. He could be a massive slime ball monster. Nope. That's not it. That doesn't really give us a lot of opportunity, but hey, we probably won't be able to battle him either without the item from the dungeon anyway, so let's just delve on further and let's see what we can do. Plus, we still need to find that girl that was said by a tree in the Village of Outcasts on the surface of the Thieves Hideout, that there was a girl that is trapped here, and some people could hear her screaming, I guess? Oh, these things. These amoebas, I believe, only appear in, like, pretty much A Link to the Past, and in very select rooms. Again, I'll put on the screen what they're called, because I still don't, because, I mean, I like to let you know what all enemies are, but as I said, even Nintendo probably didn't mention them all, and it's just in the data that you know what the enemies are, so that's kind of the thing. I am getting juggled in this room. I just want to get this anti-fairy for some health. Thank you! That's what I wanted. Good lord. I don't really know how else to fight these things other than just slash the amoeba when it comes out of the star blob, so there you go. But yeah, the name will be on screen. It'll probably be weird. I probably won't remember it. It appears only in this game. It's going to be a running thing. Makes this game a bit more unique though in that case. The manual doesn't tell you... Well, actually, I think there's also the point where the manual kind of stopped telling you what monsters' names were, because you could put in just a little bit more data into the games themselves. But at the same time, you know, it's the only game that would have allowed you to know the names of the enemies in-game would be Ocarina of Time anyway, via Navi. So, don't really know how that adds up. We want to read that message, so I shouldn't have hit this button. We actually do need to hit it, but I want to do this first. I was skipping over just a tad. Yeah, now I can actually fight these things by edging closer, and there we go. There's a heart in the wall I can't get. These crickets are pretty much the Dark World variants of rats, and they're called buzzers. That was not the way to open the door. Oh boy! Skull ropes. Dark World variants of ropes, twice as strong. They're basically just another variant. That's it, really. But, just like ropes, they do have a high chance on dropping hearts, so you bet I'm going to be chopping their heads off. I did not mean to do the hurricane spin for a moment there. Alright then.
Scatlink, it's me, Zelda. Don't be deceived by the magic of Blind the Thief. Be careful.
Huh. Well, we need to hit this switch in order to reach those pots. We'll heed Zelda's advice. And didn't we not hear blind before? Well, when I get into the next room, I'll mention something. There's the switch. And this is the room that we actually want to be in. So, once I take out these crickets, I'm going to overlay an image of the outside of the dungeon. And this exact location where we are right now is what we can see outside of the dungeon. And in the Light World variant of this particular location is the exact location of where the person inside says it used to be the hideout of Blind the Thief. So Blind made his way into the Dark World, her, not too sure, her way into the Dark World, and obviously became something and made this their new place and the Village of Outcasts as their sector. Maybe they earned the favour of Aghanim or Ganon? Who knows? So, I mean, we've heard his name being chucked around by the Maidens. So, or by the Maiden, because we've only got the one, but didn't mention Ganon. So, who knows what's happening? We need more info. When by skipping dungeons, you might be thinking that was pretty stupid. My God, they're literally turning into me. Why are you tracking me so much? Could you? Right, you know what? Quake ain't gonna work. I'll use this instead. That actually froze them. Wasn't expecting that, but I do want some magic. There we go. That's the trick. They all gave magic. What the heck? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. You got some bombs! You can pick up and throw a bomb you've placed. Press the R button. If you notice when I picked up this pot, it actually gave me a bomb. That's because that we actually do need to do this. You can't actually hit this thing with a bomb unless you chuck it. And the cracked floor throughout the corridor that we're walking through actually do not get destroyed by bombs. So if you were picking up the bombs here and you couldn't figure out how to hit this, when you pick up the bombs in the chest, it will actually tell you what to do. So yeah, none of these actually do anything. But the room that we were just in, if we check the map quickly, right below on the floor below, because remember the cursor shows you the sector in relative to the floor you're on. Yeah, the room that we were in is right above the boss room. So maybe there was something on the ceiling and now we've actually knocked it down. That could be what we've done, but it's also made sunlight come down, so maybe we're blinding the boss? It would sound like blind is actually the boss of this dungeon, to be honest. Why did I do that? I walked right into that. Good thing I have fairies and I can grab another one. Don't mean to be dying. I should have whipped one out earlier. But that is not a death. That is not a game over. That's just using a fairy. So we are all fine, fresh, sweet, tasty, and delicious. I'm going to try and not do that from now on. Not the saying, but not dying. I'm going to try and not actually bite the bullet. If I just popped out a fairy, I would have been fine. But instead, I walked into a trap like a bloody melon. But hey. I'm not going to cut it out. This is supposed to be a difficult journey. I didn't mean to stab him up the butt and then slash like a madman. I was trying to go for a spin attack to one-shot you. Because it's just better. It's just faster. Oh, why did you bounce that way? Come back here, you, Patrick style. There we are. I will slash your heart. It's pretty much what he's spitting out. That trap ate the bloody pot. These traps are really giving it a good old chin wag. They really need to shut their trap. There, made it work. Alright, that button opens that door, which takes us back to the boss room effectively. Everything seems to be going around in a circle. I mean, it is supposed to be a hideout, so... Well, it says Thieves Hideout. It's also called, like, the Thieves Town. So, it goes by many names. It's supposed to be Thieves Town, but I call it, like... Yeah, the City of Thieves. So, I don't know. It's weird. So many people call things so many different things in these games because it didn't actually get confirmed to the GBA version. Now, bit of a weird thing here that really irks me, and I do not know why I don't even know if it's supposed to be an issue and it was left in intentionally for just so you know, or if it was like a programming oversight, not a glitch. But yeah, these blocks you can't pick up, right? If you have the power glove, you can pick up these. Just like the ones on the surface. I mean, they are light, but you can't pick these up. So why those? I feel like that is an oversight, which I'll get into in a bit. But that does allow us to skip the other room and go straight here. Am I missing a... Yeah, I replenished my fairy, so I'm fine. I mean, you may also be thinking that by doing Dungeon 4 early, isn't that not, you know, making it a bit more difficult than it already is? Nope, that's why I've been doing dungeons out of order, just like in Ocarina of Time. It'll actually help us out in the long run, and a bit more so if we do dungeons a lot more out of order in this game than you're intended to. It just cushions the difficulty curve, as it were. Oh, that's not good. Hipper! Can't really catch it, which is a shame, but at least we know that is there, so if we leave the sector, we can respawn it. And that must be the girl that we had to rescue.
Oh, thank you so much. You saved my life. Please, take me outside.
Yeah, sure, madam. Let me just take this key, because we're going to need that. And because obviously she doesn't have any weight equipment weighing her down, she can catch up with us without the Pegasus shoes. Well, even though we're using them. Makes us swift on our feet. Before we take her out of the dungeon though, we want to get out our hammer, whack one of these quickly, and get to the chest. Because we have the Titan mitts, and this is what I was saying. Now we can lift the heaviest stones that were once impossible to budge. These include the black stones outside of dungeons, and what I assume to be the blocks in dungeons, not the small ones, but the big ones that we already picked up. While explaining that, a floor trap has just gone off, and I would have to void out in order to get out. Not so, actually. If I hammer this, and go over here... Well, actually, I'll try it here first. When you're next to something, you'll probably grab it. Or if you're next to one of these things, you just won't do anything, so you can't grab them. You don't want to be hammering this one, or this one, depending on which side you're going to be doing this at. When you're doing a Pegasus charge, you can actually wiggle around while charging, and as you saw there, I wiggled in, like, facing the side of the chest, so I was able to bonk over the hole. If you need to change your angle, set up your angle first in an open area, use the spin attack to angle yourself correctly. Move back a tad, so I'm not grabbing it. There we are, and now I can bounce over the hole with the recoil. That's a good technique. It's not required by any means, because if we did do Dungeon 2, I would have had an item that could have actually got us out of that predicament without voiding out. But you can do that if you so wish, and it also allows you to access another dungeon a little bit earlier, which I won't be doing, but I will be showing it off anyway. And we'll also be able to access one room that does require that ability, but it's not necessary to complete the game unless you want to fill up every room on the map, but that's not into quite a ways yet. This was a trap room with barries, conveyors and bumpers. It literally was just there to waste our time, so that's not a problem. Just get away from that really quick. And yeah, that's pretty much the entirety of the dungeon done. Now, if you really want to, you can leave the dungeon, which we are going to do, because we have to. Because, well, lady wants to leave, and, I mean, other than the Maiden, we need to rescue her. So even though we're right next to the dungeon's boss, I'm just gonna, you know, use the magic mirror and get the hell out of Dodge.
Wait a minute. Please don't go this way.
But why not? You said you wanted to go outside. This is the only way. That's a bit weird. I mean, what? You just want to look out the window or something? Hang on a minute. Zelda said, do not be fooled by Blind the Thief's magic. It was only a rumour that there was a girl in here. And that there was, you know, trapped here. And not only that, but that was told to us within the Village of Outcasts, where Thieves Town is located. Which is run by Blind the Thief. Madam, I don't think you're telling the full truth here. Have the light and blind yourself. Too bright. Yep, she was the boss. This is Blind the Thief, or Blind the Spindly Wisp, I guess. I don't. It's just called Blind. Basically, this spectral demon of nightmares doesn't actually have an amount of health. It just tracks wax. So having a more stronger sword or doing spin attacks is not going to help you here. I specify that for one specific reason. All you gotta do is whack her head, and it's prudent to do it while she's on the bottom of the screen. And once you've whacked her enough times, as you saw there, their heads start flying around and shooting fireballs that we can block with our reinforced shield. Our magical red shield. But the heads will do a lot of damage, and Blind can be really difficult with the damage output because it's nothing but a dodging game. More so to take the hits from the fireballs than by the heads themselves. They just kind of spin around aimlessly. Once we have a chance to... There we are! Land the coup de grace on Blind the Thief. We grab our heart container. And yeah, the damage can really pile up in this boss. So make sure to have a few fairies on hand. But with that, we have claimed our 4th out of 7 crystals. Even though this is our 2nd obtained overall.
Scatlink, thanks to you, I was able to escape the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you.
Blind took your appearance. I can tell.
As the sages sealed away the dark world, the knights of Hyrule defended them. from the attacks of evil monsters. I heard that the knights of Hyrule were nearly wiped out in that battle. You are perhaps the last one to carry on the bloodline of those knights, or perhaps the hero of legend. It's ironic that the last one in the line has the potential to become the hero of legend. Surely you can destroy Ganon. Do you understand?
There wasn't really much to understand there, it was just stating facts, but yeah, sure.
May the way of the hero be to the trifles.
That was 20 minutes. Yep, that's Thieves Town done already. And we got a new passive out of that, which is very nice. So, we already done Dungeon 4 before Dungeon 2. I mean, Dungeon 2 could have helped, well, the item from Dungeon 2 could have helped, but we didn't need it because we have the Pegasus shoes to, and even then we could have just voided out and spawned back at the door. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the entire dungeon done already, and with our now newfound strength in these gloves, we are now able to actually, you know, make our way out of the village down here that stopped us before. Plus, it also makes it easier to make it to the warp point in Kakariko. Hello there, you seem trapped. I can help you out, good sir.
Ribbit, your body did not change. You're not just an ordinary guy, are you? I used to live in Kakariko Town, but I wonder what my buddy is doing there without me. Ribbit, I have a request for you. Please take me to my partner. Please, Ribbit, please.
We have Frog on our team. Chrono Trigger reference. Before, I believe Chrono Trigger was a thing. But yes, we have a frog. Please take me to my partner. Well, I haven't seen any frogs in the Dark World thus far, and he used to be in Kakariko Village. We can actually get past these, so we might as well just do that right now. But we could even get past this even without the thing if we just go back to Kakariko, so... Let's see what you actually look like, good sir. There, you are now out of the Sacred Realm, my good pal, buddy of mine, and you are a little dwarf, and I remember seeing a little dwarf before, and that would be at the Dwarf Smithy. What's this? You found my partner. Happy days are here again. Drop by here again sometime. We will temper your sword perfectly. You guys can temper the Master Sword? Don't believe that. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Huh. Well, we'll come back later to see what they can actually do once they get things ready. So we'll head back to the Dark World for just a moment. And even though there's a slight time dilation, maybe they don't need much to sort out. They just need to get reacquainted. So what we want to do now is, since that we've got all these stakes here that just jutting out of the ground, because I like popping the little plastic bubbles on drink cartons that you get at fast food places, I like to pop every single one of them, even if it ain't diet. That's interesting. A stump became a hole. Weird. Let me put on the magic mirror, because we're going to be needing that in a bit. And there's a heart piece down here. That's nice. I mean, we just got a heart container last episode, and then we've got 2 pieces already to another one. So now that we've done that, let's head back up these stairs one more time. Let's put the warp roughly around here. There's a chest in the broken house in the Dark World. We'll deal with that in a bit. Hello there! Are you guys ready and not whacking that baguette? Hey you, welcome! Ask us for whatever you need. Can you temper the Blade of Evil's Bane to be sharper? I mean, it probably has dulled a bit over the years. I'll give you a big discount. So tempering 10 rupees. That is cheap, and I could have spent 100 rupees. I could have spent my entire wallet if it meant the legendary sword that you guys somehow know how to sharpen. But I guess you guys are the sacred blacksmiths, and I did make it possible. Yeah, I'll take the discount. Tempering, eh? You sure? I changed my mind. No, of course. Guys, you just gave me the offer of a lifetime. Why would I turn it down? Alright, no problem. We'll keep your sword for a while. I'm sorry, we're not done yet. Come back after a while. So, you don't really need to wait that long. If we check our inventory right now, we haven't got a sword right now. And if you press B, you can punch. You can actually punch. Even though it's every possible frame of animation, every sprite of the sword swinging animation. It just looks like you're punching. And in randomizers, you can actually set it so that that punch actually knocks enemies back, like using the boomerang. So it can actually be quite useful. All you gotta do is just leave the sector, go back in, and then they'll be done. Seriously, that's all you need to do. That apparently passes enough time. Don't waste time, don't walk around doing anything all willy-nilly. Just walk out of the sector, come back in, and your sword is now tempered! Hold it! It's now glowing red with energy. Your sword is stronger, you can feel the sheer power flowing through your body. And it's level 3. Now, since we had to have the Titan's Mitt to get this, we could have actually got this before doing the boss of Thieves Hideout if we just went straight for the Titan's Mitt and then went to go get Blind again and bring it to her room. Thing is, Blind doesn't take damage by HP damage. It's only the amount of whacks that she takes. So it doesn't matter what level your sword is, it still requires the same amount of hits. So, yeah, there's not really much else to say about that, really. And I always used to do it that way, but I learned better over the years. So I thought I'd share that little tidbit of knowledge. We're going to go back to the Dark Well for now, since that's where we kind of need to be. And, yeah, we're going to see what this blue chest is all about. We can't actually open it because the key is locked within the chest. So we can only take it with us. But, and this is a big thing, if you remember, like, how many thieves that we have met have said that, oh, there was one of our guys that just pretends to be an average guy, and one of the thieves that has now just gone into hiding, if you so want to call it, actually knows how to pick any lock. Well, if we put 2 and 2 together, we have already met that person before. The only thing is, when you're picking something up, don't hold the button, just tap it as much as possible, because if you try to dash away, you will leave it behind, but it will keep its location as long as you don't, go too far. Then otherwise you'll just have to go back to the house. So what we need to do is make our way down here, back through the, past the, what would be the Haunted Grove. And we want to be heading back into the valley that leads to the desert. Gerudo Valley, if you really want to call it that. I mean, whatever name you're going to call it, unless you have prior knowledge of future games. Let's head over here. We're ignoring everything else for now. Oh, hello there, you! Abushki. Oh, don't leave the thing behind. Don't want to do that. 20 groups, nice. And yeah, we now do 3 hits per slash. If we do spin attacks, it still does double damage. So that's up to 6 damage that we can do. Spin attacks are always viable. I mean, it's just like jump attacks. Why would you not do them? We might as well check everything around here first, see what we can do. Doesn't seem to be anything. There's not even a cave up here. There's a Hinox. You know what? We haven't actually done anything with your bombs. If you want to chuck a bomb down here, good sir, I'll probably chuck it back at you. Or you could blow yourself up, but who knows. Or you're just going to chase me down and not do anything. You know what? Screw you, mate. Have a bomb. We haven't actually defeated them with a bomb yet, so might as well try it. Unless he just wants to walk into me. You know what? I'm not going to bother now. You've made me mad. I don't know why I went to the boomerang. I wanted to go to the mirror. Enough derping about. Let's get on with the task at hand. I heard that I used to be a thief, right? Well, I'll open a chest for you. Will you keep it a secret from everyone else? Would you please promise? Tell it to everyone. Well, there's not really any need to. I'm not going to be ratting out on thieves. Yes, I'm a hero, but you're helping me out, so no, I promise not to tell. And there was a bottle in there! This is the final bottle of the game. And then we can actually store whatever we want, and then I'm hopping back into the Dark World. Screw you. You're not using my portal. And now we've got 3 pumpkins on us. I don't know why I call them pumpkins. I call them pumpkins or dancing cabbage. It's just weird. I have weird names for everything. Yeah, we can just spin attack to kill a Hinox. I don't know why I was trying to use bombs. That is supposed to be their weakness, but it's just so cumbersome. But if you notice here, these struts out of the way, yeah, this bit's a little bit raised. And if you remember when we were going through here, we saw a monolith on a hill. This is how we reached that. Yeah, I didn't think I would beat around the bush on that one, because there was no need to. But we do need the Book of Medora in order to read this description. So, conveniently, as we check this, a vulture starts to circle us for some reason, even though I'm not on death's doorstep. Hold up the Master Sword and you'll get the magic of bombos. This is the screen nuke. It spontaneously combusts everything on the screen. Why did it drop a bomb after dropping bombos? That's not normal. Okay. This is the Boris Medallion. Its magic makes the ground explode with power. But watch your magic meter. And there we are, we have all 3 screen nukes. We have Quake, which we have seen a couple of effects now, finally. We've seen Aether, which has frozen enemies. And Bombos, which explodes enemies all over the place. And with that, voice crack, I think we are done for now. So, in the next episode, guys, I will meet you guys back at the Thieves Hideout, because that is where we're going to be starting next, back in the Village of Outcasts. I'll meet you guys there. See you guys then.